Do you know the difference between I have few friends and I have a few friends? Well, when we say few, it means too little or almost none. However, when we say a few, it means just enough. Did you notice? Even a slight change in the word can bring about a complete shift in the meaning of the sentence. Words like few, a few, much, many, little, etc. and etc. are used to show the quantity of things. And the correct use of these words have confused learners of English very frequently. So hello everyone, this is Sarif sir, your friendly neighborhood English teacher, here to clear your doubts on quantifiers. Trust me, after watching this video, you will never mess up the use of much, many, little, few or any such words ever again. Are you ready? Then without wasting any time, let's begin. Let's start with the basics for the new learners. Much and many. Have you ever thought why people say much air but many people, much water but many chairs? Why do we need two different words to talk about different nouns? Well, there's a golden rule for that, and before I teach you that golden rule, watch this video. Okay, now tell me the exact number of water that you saw. Can you? Of course not, because you cannot count water. Now watch this video. Okay, now can you tell me the exact number of chairs that were in that room? Well, of course you can, because you can count chairs. This brings us to the golden rule, which is when we talk about much, it is used to talk about a particular quantity and not the exact number. The same applies even with the word many. It is also used to show a particular quantity and not the exact number. The difference arises in the next point, which is also the golden rule. That is, we use much only with uncountable nouns, and we use many only with countable nouns. Well, there you go. Now you know the difference between much and many and why we use two different words to talk about different nouns. However, I'll teach you an exception. What if I tell you that many can also be used with uncountable things? Yes, you heard it right. It can also be used with uncountable things only if you convert those uncountable things into something quantifiable. For example, instead of saying water, if we say bottles of water, you can say there are many bottles of water kept in the fridge. The same applies even with the word milk. Instead of saying just milk, if you convert it into jugs of milk or bottles of milk or cans of milk, you can use many with the word milk. That's an exception. Great. So with much and many done and dusted, let's move on to the next part of the video. ठहर जा भाई, मुझे तो कुछ समझ में नहीं आ रहा है। इस क्लास में तो इतने सारे डेस्क और बेंचेस है ही नहीं, गिन चुन के शायद एक या दो जोड़े होंगे, तो यहाँ पर भी क्या मैंने ही यूज करो? कोई और दूसरा वर्ड नहीं है क्या? अरे वाह, तू तो स्मार्ट बनते जा रहा है। तो इस सिचुएशन में हमें यूज करना होता है मच और मैनी के नेगेटिव ऑपोजिट्स, जो कि है लिटिल और फ्यू। When we want to talk about an uncountable thing to indicate a positive sense, we use much. For example, this glass has much water in it. But if we want to talk about something uncountable in a negative sense, we use the word little. For example, this glass has little water. The same rule will be applied even here. If we want to talk about something countable in a positive sense, we have to use many. For example, this room has many chairs. And if we want to talk about a countable thing to indicate a negative sense, we use the word few. For example, this room has few chairs. So remember students, when we want to talk about something uncountable, we use much to indicate a positive sense and little to indicate a negative sense. On the other hand, if we want to talk about something countable to indicate a positive sense, we use many, and to indicate a negative sense, we use few. Okay, now let's test how much you have understood. So here on the board, I have two examples with blanks which have to be filled up with these words whose correct use I have taught you just now. Starting with the first example where it says, there are so dash books in the library. Before we jump into the answer, let's see what noun it talks about. It is talking about books, which is a countable noun, and at the top here it says positive context, so you have to indicate a positive sense. And you know, if something is countable and you have to indicate a positive sense, you have to use the word many. So here we will be using the word many. The correct answer will be many books in the library. Now moving to the next example, the same sentence, but at the top you see it says a negative context. So we know if it is a countable noun and it indicates a negative context, we have to use the word, yes, few. So here we will be using the word few. There are few books in the library. It's easy, isn't it? Great. Now let's see how we can use these words if the noun is an uncountable noun. So the examples are, you can have water from my bottle, it has dash water, and it shows a positive context, which means that before that, let's see what the noun is. In this sentence, the noun water is actually an uncountable noun. Water is an uncountable noun and it says a positive context. So positive context plus uncountable, of course we have to use the word much. So the answer will be much. You can have water from my bottle, it has much water. Second example, the tiny bowl has very dash sugar in it. It's not enough. Sugar, which is also an uncountable noun, and it says a negative context. So uncountable noun plus negative context, we have to use little. The tiny bowl has very little sugar in it. It's not enough. So now you know how to correctly use many, few, much, and little with countable and uncountable nouns. So far, we have learned how much and little can be used with uncountable nouns, and many and few are used with countable nouns. What if I told you that there are some quantifiers which work with both, and you don't even have to convert the uncountable things to something quantifiable? Words like some, a lot of, and any do not care whether the noun they are used with are countable or uncountable. They can function with both the kinds very easily. Let's try to see some examples so that you understand. For example, there is some homework left to do, and we know that homework is uncountable. Another example is there are some books on the desk, where we obviously know that books are countable. Just like this, even the word a lot of can be used both with countable and uncountable. This is how. There are a lot of bicycles parked outside. I have a lot of homework left to complete. In both those examples, bicycles were countable and homework obviously is uncountable, and we could use a lot of with both the things. By now you have probably understood how even the word any can be used with both countable and uncountable. For example, Rohan could not go to the trip with us because he did not have any money. Look at this guy here. Everybody is enjoying their books, but the guy isn't because he didn't bring any book. So in both those examples, money is uncountable and we could use the word any with it. Even book is a countable noun and we could use any with book as well. So this is how you can use some, a lot of, and any with both countable and uncountable nouns. So here's a quick recap. Some used to indicate positive sense, meaning neither too little nor too much. A lot of is used to indicate a positive sense and it's used to indicate a huge amount. And any is used in a negative. With this, we have reached the end of this video, but I want to end this video with some home assignment. Try to solve these answers and type the answers in the comments below. First set of questions is related to countable nouns, where you have to fill it up with a lot of, some, and any. There are dash children playing in the park, neither too little nor too much. The entrance to the theater was completely blocked because there were dash people waiting outside, indicating a huge amount. Sebastian is new here, so he doesn't have dash friends in this town, indicating a negative sense. Now the next set of questions with some uncountable nouns. There's dash rice on the plate for you. Same thing. You need to have dash patience to overcome a distressing situation. Same indicator. He appeared lost and didn't show dash interest in the meeting. Use a word that indicates a negative sense. Solve these answers. It's not that difficult at all. If you have forgotten any point, you can rewind, go back and rewatch my video. And that's all for today. Thank you for staying till the end. If you loved the video, do show your appreciation by giving it a thumbs up and do not forget to subscribe for more such interesting grammar videos. We'll meet again in the next one. Till then, farewell.